Hello and welcome to Roosevelt Rebel with your host Tisa Rebel Beltran. Dink dink. So, this is the second time I've recorded. The last one I went off in tangents because of my ADD. So I decided, you know what? I want this season to not be all over the place. So, I guess that was a practice run. And here I am with you. And today's episode is going to be about my 23andMe results, because I took the test sometime in November or December, and I sent it in, and I got my results around Christmas time, and I haven't been able to share those with you. So I am taking the culture of psychology course. Culture psychology? What is it called? Psychology, let me tell you right now. Cultural psychology. Let me get that out. Cultural psychology course. And so basically it is interpreting my findings of research with culture, with cross-cultural comparisons, in indigenous culture studies, masculinity and femininity studies. So it is pretty much going along this a little bit here. So my results pretty much was what I was expecting. If you know me or have seen me, you can see that I'm a pale ass Mexican, but during the summer I do get some tan going on because I am Yaqui Indian and other Indian indigenous, so I need to do some research on that part. I know that we are from Jalisco, that is Mexico, so don't ever tell me to go back to my country, because I am here because Arizona was part of Mexico, and don't get me started. So anyhow, but I believe my European was like 58.3% European, which was mostly Spaniard. So it's Spanish and Portuguese. So we pretty much knew that because of my last name. My last name is Beltran. Beltran. Beltran is a Spanish name, and it means raven. You're welcome. But also, the Spanish conquered everywhere. Everywhere, I'm telling you. So in high school, I knew a guy who, I think I've talked about him in one of the episodes. He was racist and a queer basher. Fuck him. But in high school, he told me that he had cousins with my last name, and they were French Canadian. So I said that makes sense because it's Spanish. It's a Spaniard last name, and they pillaged all the villages of the world. You know. So he might or might not be in my results, because there are over 1,500 results of family members' cousins. So the only two people that I know that are on this list are my nephew and one of my cousins, who is part of the second younger twins. My family has two sets of twins, the older boys and then the younger boys. And so when I say younger, they're like in their 30s now. So only those two are on there. My dad did it, but I did an ancestry though, not 23andMe. I also found out that, let me bring it up. I think I closed it. Son of a monkey's uncle. Let me find it. And I think that it's a good thing that I'm studying this subject right now, as these results came in. Well, they didn't just come in, but I took it this semester. So we are, I'll have to put in we are German. Let me find it. I have a little bit of a headache. I think I need water. So the Spanish and Portuguese, 58.7%. Sorry, I think I said 58.3. It is European, and 52.5% of that is Spanish and Portuguese. And we're French and German is 2.3%. Jewish, we knew we were Jewish because on my dad's side of the family, we're like my dad's DNA is coming in thick here, 1.7%. And then indigenous American, which is our Native American here is basically my dad's family is from Mexico, and they're sheep herders. I think they were the Rodriguez side. This is from memory, but my memory does fail me. And they're sheep herders, and they came. He told me different stories. So my dad has onset dementia, so early onset dementia. So the stories are not connecting sometimes. Like, he tells me one thing, and then I ask questions, and he's like, "Oh, no, this." So it's really hard to keep things straight. But on my mom's side, we are Yaqui Indian from Mexico. We have a lot of Aztec. We're from Jalisco and other parts of Mexico. So we are deep Mexico. Not the tip. We're deep. We don't know how. My Nana, they said she was from Nogales, Arizona, but I need to look. I really need to do research. I would love to do a whole thing on us. I think it would be quite interesting. Not for anybody else, but just for me. I don't know if anybody else would be interested in knowing this. Probably my family members, but just going through, finding the information, I think will help other people want to do that for themselves. So I think that's cool. So Chinese and Southeast Asian, we're 0.5%. And that 0.5% is Filipino. And I don't know if you know this, but Mexican and the Filipinos are really close together, and it has to do with the Spaniards colonizing the colonizers. Such a rough life. I'm just getting angry thinking about it. I'm not gonna hate myself. Let's stop now. Okay, we're gonna focus here. So, Western Asia and North Africa. We knew we were from, like I said, my Nana was from Cameroon. I don't know if I said it this episode. If I've already said it. But my Nana is from Cameroon. Well, she has blood from Cameroon. But she was Mexican. So the slaves were brought over from Africa. Cameroon is a country in Africa. So this is saying that we have African blood. Let me see where the fuck. I'm going to look at a map real quick. And make it a little bit smaller. So Cameroon is considered, because it says that we're Northern Africa. No. I'm reading that wrong. I apologize. Western Africa, which is true because that's Cameroon. Boom. This is so cool. Yeah, so we have the Cameroon, and then East African. East African would be, let's make it a little bit, I wouldn't know what part or where from, but I do know the West African. Cameroon, motherfucker. I love learning. Yeah, and so looking at the map right now and then reading what's on my ancestry composition is pretty cool. And then we have Mexico and Central America, and then we have 9 different regions from Mexico and Central America, which is widely amazing. So we have Jalisco, Sonora, Chihuahua, Michoacan, Sinaloa, Durango, Mexico City, Nuevo Leon, and some others. So if you look at the fucking Mexico map, you would be like, wow, you're deep. Yeah, we are deep. We have Aztec and Yaqui that we know of blood in us. So there's that. And that was like 30-something percent, 35% of indigenous, 36.2%. But 35.5% was of American, which, you know, America, Native American, hello. So I just found it very interesting and amazing how all of this information is brought together and showing me what I am. And another part of it that was quite interesting was the Neanderthal DNA. It told me that I was like 90-something percent of African, or excuse me, not African, I just read African, Neanderthal DNA. I think it's here. I'm just going, there it goes. Neanderthal ancestry. It says that I am 96% Neanderthal DNA. Oh, wait, no. I have more Neanderthal DNA than 96% of other customers. So other people that have done 23andMe. So that basically means I inherited a small amount of DNA from my Neanderthal ancestors. Out of the 7,462 variants, they found 307 variants in my DNA that trace me back to Neanderthals. Altogether, my Neanderthal ancestry accounts for less than a negative 2% of my DNA, which is cool. They influence my traits. So that means they influence, let's see if it says anything about that. Listen to this. It just sounds kind of like, okay, just listen to this. Okay, so one of the variants associated is having difficulty discarding rarely used possessions. I have worked so hard on this for the past fucking 10 years by getting rid of possessions that I have. Very, what do you call it? Oh man, the word just fucking left. I'm very passionate about things. Sentimental. I'm very sentimental. My dad is very sentimental. I'm just like my father. And so it's hard to get rid of things. And so, but I've been working really hard on that because some of the things that I have that I'm sentimental about are, they're not worthless, but they are just like, I could do without, and I have my brain for the memories. So I've been working really hard on that one. So generally not feeling angry when hungry. So I don't get hangry. Oh my god, my sister's a lot. I apologize. I have one variant associated with having a worse sense of direction, which is not true. Only if, like, I don't know where I'm at, I get turned around, but usually I'm really good with direction. Less likely to have a fear of heights. That's a fucking lie. I have a fear of fucking heights. Being less likely to have a hitchhiker's thumb. Fucking, that's a lie. So some of this stuff is lies. Being a better sprinter than distance runner. That is true. Being more likely to sweat during a workout. That is true. Dandruff. That is true. Like, did you know that even though you don't have hair, you still have dandruff? Because my bald ass still has dandruff. But they're like, I work on it with tea tree oil shampoo, which smells so good. And being less likely to blush easily. That is a fucking lie. That is a fucking blatant lie. And let's see what else. There's nothing else on there. So that is cool. But that is really cool information that they have. Some of them were not true. Some of them were true. Especially the ones about giving away your possessions, the rarely used possessions. But I've been working on that very, very much. And if you look around my house or my room, you would be like, okay, she doesn't have very much. She just has essential things that she uses every day. You know, paints, books that I have, my records, and my plants that I'm growing in my room right now. And my computers for school and work. I don't have very much possessions because what's the point? I really feel like there's no point of having a bunch of possessions that just weigh you down. And I've become a minimalist over the past, it's going to be 10 years. Because I just got tired of moving and moving things. After a while, you just get tired of moving things. So you just get rid of stuff. But yeah, those are the things that I have found. And there's only two people on here. My nephew and my cousin are on here. My first cousin and my nephew. My dad did Ancestry, I think, because he's definitely would be showing up on here as my padre. At least I would hope so. But we were joking. I don't know if you guys remember. We were joking about having the DNA results come back, and then we would find a bunch of like nephews or kids that my dad didn't even know about. But thankfully, there is nothing as of right now.